Hi, it's Nicola and welcome. Today I have a Q&A show for you and it's how to create super book back covers. Today's show is sponsored by the Your Family Story system, which helps you create a loved one's life story, and I'll have more about some free sections for that coming up. But if you're new to the show, Forever Young Autobiographies is the place to learn how to write life stories for family and friends so that unique memories can live on. And I'd be really thankful if you could follow, subscribe and like the show. So the Ask Nicola question and answer series is questions that are sent to me as a book coach. I get quite a few whether people are writing autobiographies, memoirs, biographies or other life story projects. And it's a behind the scenes look at how I answer those questions. So today's question is, I'm nearly ready to publish my book for my family and friends. Do I need to design a book back cover? If so, what do I need to keep in mind? So first of all, congratulations on getting close to the finish line with your book. It takes so much time and determination, so well done. Congratulations. Now, there's a lot to consider if you're thinking about putting out a book, the covers especially, and I've got some top tips for you today about specifically book back covers. So let's get to it. Now, the first question you probably want to know is, do I really need to do a back cover? And this will depend a lot on whether your book is for sale or not. So the cover of a book gets your attention and the back cover follows up with that. It gives you more of an idea. Think of it like you have, say in the movie world, you have a movie poster and then you watch the trailer. The trailer is really the equivalent for the back of the book. So if you're going to be sold, it's critical that this book has a book back cover. But if you're doing it for a private audience, if your book's for family and friends, maybe not so important, because you need to think about your audience, how much time you've got to finish this project, potentially how much money you need to spend on it. So it's very personal. There's a lot of personal reasons when it's for a personal audience. So you might decide, I don't particularly want to do the back cover, and that's fine. You know, you can then put all that time or energy in making your front cover really great. So it's good if you can do it, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so once you've made that decision, there's some factors that we need to think about to make a great back book cover. Now, the first thing would be all the words that go on the back. And you probably will I've got a bit of a formula really for you to break that down. First of all, you're going to have the blurb. Now, the blurb is usually 3 to 6 sentences or paragraphs, and it will tell you about the book and why you should read it, why readers should read it. And it'll highlight things like what a reader can learn, what ideas are in the book, and themes that come up in the book. So that's the blurb. Got to get that straight, really important. Then you're going to have a bit about the author's blurb. This is a lot shorter. It's usually sort of 2 to 3 paragraphs or sentences. And in your author's blurb, you're going to list a little bit about the credentials of the author. So it's yourself, a bit about your credentials. If you've written any other books or any other projects, put that down. You might want to put where you're from, like what region you live in, any interests that you have, and you can put a little headshot, just a tiny little portrait shot there. The blurb helps the reader connect with the writer and entices them further to read the book. Now, the last bit you're going to probably want to do is the quote. You might have a quote on the back, and that's, if you can get it, it's nice to have someone notable to give some endorsement or tell others a bit about the book. This is really good for your credibility for you as an author and as for your actual book. And it's a bit of social proof. So that's the written element to the back of the book. But we are visual creatures, so we need to know a lot about how to design it. So you'll probably want to get some inspiration from elsewhere. So have a look Firstly, look around your house on your bookshelf. What books have you got there that you'd like the back covers of? Take a note of the elements that you like. Also, you can go to your local library, scour the shelves there, a bookshop, or even head online. You can look at a lot of books online, the front covers, the back covers. It's endless what you can find on there. So you'll get some inspiration from those key places and you'll see what's on trend and what you like. Then we need to look at the back design. Now there's probably 3 elements for a back design. The first being the image or the background. So you want to carry on from the front. You want to make sure it's like a complete package. So you can see in this one here, it starts on the cover and it wraps around. So you get that look at the front, it continues onto the back. You're drawing the reader in. So yeah, the wraparound is a really good technique. It could be an image or it could just be a background colour to keep it really simple. So after we've done that, we need to think about a tagline. And this can be just the heading of the book, but it can also be something intriguing, a description of the book. So it's just like a headline, think of it like that. It's can also be a quote, so keep that in mind. You want to get the reader into reading the blurb. The final element of the back of a book would be the barcode. Now this is essential if your book is for sale. You need to have a barcode so at the point of sale, everything's okay. But sometimes for printers they have a barcode regardless whether it's for sale or not, simply for their records. Now don't be alarmed about that. It just goes on there. It has records for print on demand, say for example, for their records. Right, got the words, got the design, but how do we put them together? How does this all work? What do we need to do? So the last point of this show is to tell you how to do that. And a lot of you might not realise that you really physically can't design the front and the back of the book until it's complete, because this is dependent on the spine. The spine is how many pages you have. You need to know the width of the spine. So it's really designed in one big file. The back of the book, the spine, and the front of the book. They're all together in one big file. So once you know the trim size of your book, the type of pages, the weight that they're going to be, and how many they are, then you can figure out how wide your spine is, and then you can use a template generator or to create the exact file size of your front back covers. So you need to understand that it's one file size. You can't do it until the end. You need to have all your ducks in a row before you figure this out. But once you've got that, okay, you've got this template, this size, you know what you're working with, and then you can design your covers. So you can do it yourself. Great way to do that if you've got some design skills, or your friends or family have got some design skills. You can give that a go. I recommend and have used Canva. This is a design tool online. It's completely free. There is a paid version, I think a premium version, but I've used the book templates in there for free. There's some really good ones. So I suggest checking that out if you're that way inclined. Otherwise, you can go online. There's lots of freelancers online who can sort this out for you. You can go to Upwork or Fiverr. And then finally, there's actual book cover design services out there. Lots and lots and lots. But you can just sort of buy one off the shelf and just put your headline, your name, picture, that kind of thing. Boom, you've got a cover. So there's places like Book Design Templates where you can do that. And there's also one called Self-Pub. There's quite a few, but I've had a look at those and I think they'd be all right for most people's purposes. So have a look. So that's pretty much how to come up with a book cover design in 4 steps. And just to recap, we talked about 1, deciding, do we really need a back cover or not? You know, sometimes you don't really need one. It depends on your audience. The second is figuring out the written elements that you need. Thirdly, the design elements. And fourthly, how do we put it all together into this one big file? So my aim for this show is just to motivate you to get going and make a great book back cover today. And if you'd like to know more, you need to head over to my website at foreveryoungautobiographies.com. Go there and I'll have all the links to those resources I mentioned, plus some other articles I've done on how to do a good front cover, write a good title, how to lay out your book and get it printed. So make sure you head over there. And while you're at the website and while you're here, let me know if you've got some other questions for the Ask Nicola series, or maybe you're struggling with your back cover, or there's some idea you want to run past me. Just shoot me an email or leave me a comment. You can go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/contact. Now, the Forever Young Autobiographies series is also got the Your Family Stories system, which will help you write a loved one's life story. Now, I mentioned the show was sponsored by this, and this system is really a step-by-step process where you start preparing for an interview, holding an interview, compiling it, and then writing it all up so you have a loved one's story all recorded. There's lots of different ways you can put that out, but I go through these step by step with you in the Your Family Stories system. And you can get the free sections for that. All you need to do is pop in your email address and I'll send them to you. And to get that, you need to go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/free. Now, I'll be back again soon with another topic, and I'd love for you to follow, subscribe, and like the show. And until then, happy writing.